Welcome to Mysteries, Myths, and Legends. I'm Taylor.
I'm Savannah.
Welcome to the show. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Happy Wednesday. For once, I don't think I really have anything to come in with this
Not
time.
even one singular thing. Wow.
Well, I guess I'm getting into the holiday spirit. It's pretty much.
That's good. Listen, I think I've called myself a Grinch on the podcast before. If not, I am a little bit of a Grinch, but it's not even because I'm a Grinch, guys. I promise it's not. I have been meaning to put up my Christmas tree.
You still haven't?
I don't have a single decoration. Okay, that's not true. I have a tree in my front yard, one singular tree, very skinny. Very skinny. Could fall over at any moment, but we wrap lights around it for the season. So I did, in fact, switch out my Halloween purple and orange ones for like multicolor Christmas ones. So there's at least that. Like it's not Halloween lights anymore, but no, like we've been meaning to do it, but there's just really been no time where me and my roommate have both been home at the same time and like we want to do it together. So.
Well, I had my tree up the week before Thanksgiving.
Wow. See, that's good. That's what I wanted to do.
Yeah. And I put up like these snowflake lights on my porch.
Yeah, they're so cute.
Yeah.
See,
Cute.
I need to get in the spirit. Maybe after we record, I'll do it.
Yeah.
We'll see.
You should.
I really need to. Because what I was going to say is, I'm actually, by the time this comes out, I will have already came and went. But I'm going to Gatlinburg, Tennessee this weekend for the first time ever.
That's so fun. I don't think I've ever been either.
Yeah, right. And I'm like, it's really not that far from us. So that's crazy that we've never been. But, yeah, we're going to look at like, apparently it's like a big spectacle like of Christmas lights there.
Oh.
Like it's like known for that or something. I honestly don't know, but that's what I'm going to see. And so I'm very excited.
I just know that it's near Pigeon Forge and that's Dollywood.
So. Yeah, I don't really know what we're doing. I got thrown in very last minute on this family trip. So
I see.
You know, we'll see. I'll have updates for you guys next week with what we did.
Yeah.
I think I've heard maybe we're going to an aquarium, and I'm like, there's an aquarium? Like, if you don't know, I live at the beach, so I'm like, I don't need to go to an aquarium. But I mean, if that's what they want to do, I will gladly take my niece to the aquarium.
Yeah.
But I just...
Yeah, that seems random.
That's what I'm saying.
Aren't aquariums, like, usually closer to the coast?
Yes, most definitely they are. So, you know, I guess we'll see. But, yeah, if you guys don't mind, go rate and review us on Spotify and Apple Podcast.
Yeah, we like going through and reading some of the, the little reviews that are written.
Yes. Oh, we love it. We love it so much. And nobody better leave a bad one. Okay.
I mean, you can if you want to, but I don't
know. Sorry. That's actually against the rules. I know you guys don't read the terms and conditions and like, when we have to sign up all those things like on Apple.
Right.
It actually, there's a clause. I think it might be 716B.
Right.
It says you're not allowed to.
Just for our podcast?
Yeah. Mysteries, Myths, and Legends. Taylor and Savannah only. You have to rate it 5 stars.
Right.
That's per them, So hit them up with that. No, but for real, just leave us a review. But that's really all that I have for intro topics this week.
Okay, well, let's get into my story. So this week I'm pretty excited about it because I found a story at a location that I've been to before and that I have grew up going to.
Oh.
And I didn't even realize that it had a legend behind it,
That's crazy. No, that is crazy.
Yeah. So this is the story or the legend of the corpse light at Cape Henlopen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Creepy. That's a really creepy name.
I know. Corpse light.
A corpse light?
Yeah.
Okay. Can't be good.
Yeah. Well, it's not. But so anyways, I used to visit Cape Henlopen State Park every year. Like my family, we would all go camping there. We would drive because it was 2 hours from our house. It's like, it's not the closest beach, I don't think, to us, but it was like one of the nicer ones, and it was in Delaware.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's a beach?
Yeah, because it's a cape.
Oh.
Do you know what a cape is?
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Never thought about it.
It's like off of there's like a bay and then the cape. I don't really know how to describe.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, if you look up a map of it, I mean,
everybody should know by now, we do not know geography. That includes like land, like not only just places.
Yeah. But yeah, we would go there every year just to have like a little beach trip, you know?
Mm-hmm.
A cheap beach trip because it's camping,
sure.
you know?
For sure. I mean, mine was Myrtle Beach, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I miss it. I haven't gone, obviously, since we moved, so it's been a while.
I'm hearing we might have to take a trip to see
Honestly,
some
it's like,
lights.
I looked it up, it's 7.5 hours.
I mean, I've done worse.
Yeah. I mean, that's true. And I do have a little background, or kind of a long background on the history of the state park. So it's in Lewes, Delaware, which is right there on the coast of Delaware. And Delaware is tiny anyway, so,
Oh, she is so small.
Mm-hmm. And actually, you can take a ferry across the bay to Cape May, New Jersey. So it's like...
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I did not realize it was that close to New Jersey.
Oh, it is. Yeah. Delaware, New Jersey, and like the Philadelphia area, they're all like right there near each other. But anyways, you can take like a ferry to Cape May. So like, I think Cape May, New Jersey is a really popular area too. And then like Cape Henlopen was a little bit chiller, you know?
Yeah.
But anyways, that's a little background if you know where either of those are, sort of orient you. The park is about 5,000 acres, and it became a state park in 1964. But it's relevant before that too. So, in 1682, William Penn, who was the founder of Pennsylvania, and actually, I guess he was an early leader of Delaware too, which I guess makes sense. He decreed that Cape Henlopen and its natural resources were to be like set aside for the use and enjoyment of the citizens of the Delaware colony.
Period.
Yeah, period. And that established Cape Henlopen as one of the first public parcels of land in the 13 colonies.
No way.
Yeah.
That's wild.
So, that's pretty cool. And Cape Henlopen was used by the U.S. Navy and Army during like all of the wars we've had, honestly. The Revolutionary War, the War of 1812, the Civil War, World War I, and World War II.
Wow.
So it was used there because, it's like a main point for people coming into the country.
Right for sure.
You know?
Probably maybe the main point.
Yeah. Yeah. So they had a fort built there in World War II. That always just messes me up.
I
feel
can't
like
say it either.
Weird.
Yeah, I can't say it either.
Yeah. But anyways, Fort Miles was built there. And they built like bunkers, observation towers, and the pier. And there's still observation towers all around the state park, and some of them have even been restored and you can climb them. Ooh, which is really cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, because every year we would go, and like that was one of my favorite parts of going there. You can like go up the towers and everything. And it's like, it takes a lot to go up them though, because it's like a spiral staircase all the way up.
Yeah, I've been up one shot tower before.
Yeah.
And it was horrible. I mean, it was cool once you get to the top, but
yeah,
the journey is a little hard.
See, but me and my siblings, we would like race, like run up with them.
Oh, see, that couldn't be me. I was far too dangerous as a child.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Anyways, but yeah, that was fun. I would go back just to do that again. But the bunkers were there too, but like you can't really go inside them. I've always wanted to though. I was like, that would kind of be cool.
Very much so.
The Cape Henlopen Light was the sixth lighthouse built on the Atlantic coast, and that was constructed in the 1760s. And it was actually almost destroyed a few times. So,
yikes.
Yeah. In 1777, the British almost destroyed it, but it was able to be repaired. In 1897, there was like a sand dune surrounding it, and the sand dune was blowing away. So,
Oh no.
Yeah, at a rate of like 3 to 5 feet a year. So yikes.
Oh, that's a kind of a lot.
Yeah, a lot. And in 1905, brush was placed around the tower to prevent more of it from blowing away. But the lighthouse was only in operation until 1924, when it was damaged by a storm and abandoned. So yeah. So the lighthouse is now at the bottom of the ocean.
Rest in peace, the lighthouse.
Yeah. After it fell into the water on April 13th of 1926.
You know what? I'm sure there are some fish living in that their lighthouse mansion now.
Honestly, true. Yeah, that would be kind of cool.
I'd love
Ariel's down there.
Right, exactly. You never know.
So, speaking of the lighthouse, this story is of the corpse light. It is also referred to as the bad weather witch.
Oh.
Which I don't really know where that name comes from, but
Interesting.
And this legend is like, it involves sort of like a Native American curse.
Oh.
And sometimes I don't know if I like talking about those, because I'm like, did they actually curse it? Is this just like people saying they put a curse on it,
Yeah.
But, we're just going to go with what the legend says. So, the legend goes that there was a local Native American tribe in Delaware that was having a wedding ceremony. This was long ago, like before
America.
Before America.
For sure.
And when colonizers were starting to come over. So a tribe was having a wedding ceremony, and British soldiers, so I guess, future American soldiers possibly, they stormed in and massacred people at this wedding.
Of course they did.
Yeah, unfortunately. And some people did survive, like it wasn't all of them, but they did do a good amount of damage. But the remaining people, they put a curse on them for what they had done.
As they should. Honestly. If I were them, I would curse them. So
yeah,
can't blame them.
Yeah, honestly. They conjured up a corpse light to lure ships in to their doom.
Oh, okay. That's actually smart.
Yeah.
I mean, gotta get revenge. I mean, why would you do that? Why would you walk in on a wedding and just go absolutely ham?
Right.
That's insane. Like,
right.
Like no compassion, like just as a human being whatsoever.
Exactly. Yeah, does make sense. But what's crazy is like they conjured up this corpse light before the lighthouse was even built or anything. And
interesting.
Like when I heard about like corpse light, and then I was like, oh, they had a lighthouse there at one point. I figured that it was going to be like the lighthouse was like knocked down, and then the light from the lighthouse is still there.
That's what I thought you were going to say.
Yeah, but no, it's like a totally different thing.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. So the corpse light is actually credited with sinking a ship.
Oh. That makes me believe.
Yeah, it's credited with a few different things, but okay. So let's start with this one. So the Devonshireman, which is the name of a ship.
That's the ugliest name of a ship I've ever heard in my whole life. The Devonshireman?
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Anyways, it was sunk on Christmas Day of 1665.
Oh, that's really tragic, actually. I was going to make a joke, but no, I'm not going to do that anymore.
See, but also, holiday vibes. Christmas. See, I'm tying it into
Merry
the time.
Christmas, guys.
Yeah. So, I was gonna pick a Christmas story, and maybe I did.
And now we're here.
Anyways, the ship was following beams from what they thought was a lighthouse, but as we know, the lighthouse was not built yet, and it crashed into the shore and sank. And over 200 men died in the wreck. No one survived.
Wow. That is crazy. Okay, and I also have a question. And this is a question because I'm just genuinely curious. Okay, so you're saying that the Native Americans, according to this legend, cursed the colonizers, like are the ones that made this curse to like appear, have this light, right? Okay, and I'm not exactly sure when lighthouses were created, but like, did they know what a lighthouse was? Or they just knew that this light was going to lure the ship in? Like, I'm just like, did they have lighthouses? Because I don't know.
That's a good question. I think they probably like just knew that a light would lure them in.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely smart. That's definitely smart.
I don't know.
It makes sense.
I kind of thought about that too, but I was like,
Interesting.
I don't know.
I mean, yeah, no, there's no way to know the answer, but just to think about.
Interesting. Well, anyways, so some say that the ship will reappear and reenact the famous crash.
Oh, we love a good ghost ship. Yeah. I love it. I mean, actually, that's sad. Like, I don't really love it, and I'm sorry. Rest in peace.
Yeah, but also like.
But also, you were colonizing, so.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, anyways, so there's a ghost ship and a corpse light on this coast, which is kind of cool.
Just everything here is just a ghost. Like nothing's actually there. Nothing's real.
Yeah. No. Exactly. Yeah. True. So even after the lighthouse was built, the corpse light kept claiming victims.
Oh, what? That's wild.
Yeah. So when did I say the lighthouse was built? In 1769. And in 1798, a British ship called the De Brock saw the corpse light and crashed and sank.
Wow. Wow. Do you know how far away the corpse light is from like the actual lighthouse? Like,
I don't know.
Because I wonder like how it must be far enough of a difference because obviously they're crashing and sinking the ships.
Yeah. Because it's like, oh, they say that and they think they're in a totally different place.
Exactly. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. And in 1800, the ghost of a Native American was seen on the outcropping of a rock just before a large barge crashed into the rocks.
Oh.
So, that's not good.
Not good. Not good. Not even one bit.
Yeah. Yeah. And, okay, so this is the craziest story. And it takes place like more modern day in 1980.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
It's not what I was expecting at all.
Yeah. So in 1980, the USS Poet, which was a 12,000-ton grain transport vessel, it vanished off the coast of Cape Henlopen.
You said 12,000 ton?
Yes.
Vanished. That math does just simply not add up.
Yeah, let me tell you a little bit more about it. So October 24th of 1980, the Poet left Philadelphia with 13,500 tons of yellow grain, and it was headed for Egypt. And once they were clear of the Delaware Bay, so like right at Cape Henlopen, they radioed their position. They're like, okay, we're at the Cape, at 8:30 p.m. And then the Poet, after that, it was never seen or heard from again.
What?
And there's no trace of it.
Ever?
Never.
What?
And there was no lifeboats or anything found. And
none of the people? Was there? I mean, there had to be people on there.
Yeah, there were, and they're gone.
No. I do not accept it. I do not.
And people blame the corpse light for this. Even though, like, it didn't crash, but it just disappeared.
I mean, what if it did crash, though, and sunk?
I don't know. They didn't find it. It was 13,000 tons of grain.
Well, where did it go? I guess it's about, in Moana, they do have a little place where they hide the boats. So, like, maybe it's somewhere hidden, but, like, that makes no sense. That actually makes no sense.
Yeah.
Like, wait, does that mean that we need to go find it? Like, we need to become, like, national treasure?
We're going to be archaeologists.
Yeah. Listen, I say I miss my calling to be an archaeologist every day. I think I said it last week on the podcast.
Yeah, because we were talking about archaeology last week, too.
Guys, like, that's what I need to be doing. I want to find it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But maybe it's just in another dimension.
Maybe. I mean, truly maybe. Or like hell, if they were cursed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. I don't know where you go when you're cursed.
Yeah. Well, that's the last story I had about the corpse light. So, like, I don't know. Like, what do you think happened to it?
Dude, what? Okay. Have people seen the corpse light, like, today?
Well, I mean, all the stories I found said that, like, people do see it occasionally, but nothing really, no
like shipwrecks.
crashes have happened recently.
Okay, well, that's good, I guess. That is crazy. Okay, follow-up question. Did you see the corpse light when you were there all those times?
No, because I didn't even know about it.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what if you did?
But also, it's probably only at night, and I was not at the beach at night.
You never did no night walking, no ghost crab hunting?
Literally, I mean, I was probably 16 and under when I was there, so, like, and, like, I would have had to, like, my parents weren't about to go do that. I don't know.
Okay. I mean, I guess I get it, but also, I don't know. I feel like going on the beach at night is like my favorite. It's not my favorite.
But also, we would have had to drive to the beach.
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying. I'm imagining like you're staying ocean front.
No. Yeah, we're like at the campground, which,
Oh, at the yes. Okay, yes.
We can. I think we probably could have walked over there, but like, I don't know. We just stayed at the park usually.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that is so crazy. That just blew my mind. And no, I'm never gonna be okay because where is that ship?
I know. I know. When I saw like, oh, shipwreck, I was like, okay, seems about right. And then disappearing ship, like, what?
No. Okay.
And it's like a giant thing. Like what?
Dude, like, are there other ships that big that have gone missing?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
This is research I need to be done right now.
Just like anywhere else, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
No,
honestly, the ocean is big too.
Like, it has to be in the water. It has to be.
But do you think it's there, or do you think it's like in the water somewhere else, like on its way to Egypt?
Maybe, yeah. Like, I think, well, I don't know. I don't really know. But you said they looked, right? Like, they looked around the area.
Mm-hmm.
And then, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then maybe they just, like, started making their passage, and then something bad happened, and then now it's really, like, at the bottom of the ocean, like, pirates thousands and thousands of feet. Or pirates. Yeah. Who knows? Wow. I'm not going to get over that. Like, that's going to haunt me in my dreams. I'm going to be like, where is this boat?
Yeah, I know.
I hope we find it one day. I feel like that's possible.
Yeah, could be.
Wash up. What if it washed up here? And I saw it. What if I found it?
That would be pretty crazy.
Guys, I need to speak that because I want that to happen for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, keep your eye out for that.
I will.
The USS Poet.
USS Poet. Sure will. I definitely will. Wow, that was a crazy story. And I can't believe you didn't know that either. Like, when you guys were there.
Like, maybe
Did you ask your parents if they knew about it?
I should have.
You should.
I don't know. They're not really like. I don't think they're really into those kind of stories, so they might not know about it. Yeah.
But I don't know though. People, even people who aren't into it, like still sometimes, like if they're from there, like know the legend. You know.
Yeah.
You just be hearing it around.
Mm-hmm.
You should ask them. You should.
Okay.
But okay, moving on, I suppose, to my story. What's funny is that every single week there's a commonality in between our stories, and there's a big one today, ladies and gentlemen, because I have the story of a curse for you today as well. So, I didn't know. That's crazy. Like, it really is crazy. So, wild. I have for you the legend of Robert the Doll. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh no. Oh no, not Robert.
Okay,
I know about
listen.
this one a little bit.
Robert does not come to play. And me researching and sitting down and like I just need you to know this gave me so much anxiety. Like, I cannot deal with this. And I never agreed with dolls, don't like dolls. I didn't even really have dolls when I was like a kid either. I didn't really like them.
Well, I did.
Yeah, I know. I have never liked dolls. My mom doesn't either. So, you know, dolls just bad vibes.
I had a doll that I would play with all the time. I named it Laura. Honestly.
Mm-hmm. Okay, basic.
You know how like not original I am? I think it was because my Aunt Laura gave it to me.
Savannah, come on now.
And then I also had an American Girl doll named Holly.
Oh, that just creeps me out. I did not have a doll. Not at all.
But I did see, now that you say it though, I did think, oh, they probably come to life.
Oh, and you just were fine with that?
I was like, oh, I better play with them or they're gonna be,
oh God.
you know,
No.
they're gonna feel bad.
Honestly,
they're gonna get sad about it.
No.
I didn't think they would do anything bad to me. But I was like, oh, you know, they probably do stuff when I'm not here. 'Cause, like Toy Story.
Yeah. Oh. See, even I don't like Toy Story either. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, ew, goodness, no.
Yeah.
Like, there's also...
I mean, it did kind of creep me out.
No, for sure. Like, I still can't... I mean, we can't do dolls today. Like, when we go, like, as a family, like, go see, like, our extended family in West Virginia, my aunt, we always stay at her house, and she has these Raggedy Ann and Andy dolls, and me and my brother fight over, like, whose room they're going to be in, because, like, we can't have them in our rooms, so normally they're just, like, in the hallway every time, because that's how much we do not do dolls. We are grown adults.
Raggedy Ann.
Yeah, no, not Raggedy Ann. No.
I was actually Raggedy Ann for Halloween one year.
See, I hate that. I really do. I really do.
It was cute.
I'm sure it was cute. But, like, that's like, to me, that's like a horror, like, scary costume, not like a cute costume.
Right,
I would be scared. But anyway, moving on to Robert the doll. So I know we have covered one other doll story in the past, but I was so shocked that we had only ever covered one all this time, because there are a lot of, like, doll, creepy, weird situation stories.
Yeah, what other one did we cover?
Oh man, I already forgot her name. It started with an L. It was like Letty, I think was her nickname, Letty the doll, but I don't remember her full name. But and I didn't look up the episode either, so sorry. But just, you know, it was a long time ago. Scroll back.
Okay.
But so yeah, I was just shook by the fact that we had only ever done one. So I'm like, okay, doll story time. So that's when I decided that it was going to be the story of Robert the doll, who is, I would personally say, like, the second most well-known haunted doll. And I would say that Annabelle is definitely the first, obviously. Speaking of Raggedy Ann, because the original Annabelle is a Raggedy Ann doll.
Oh, is she really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Like, the movies, obviously, she's a regular doll. But, like, in real life, the haunted doll was...
Okay. That's probably why people are so scared of it.
Well, to be fair, I was scared of Raggedy Ann far before I ever learned about Annabelle. So, I think I'm telling you, there's some bad vibes associated with that Raggedy Ann. But, yeah. So, if you haven't heard of Robert the doll, I'm giving you every detail. It's juicy this week, guys. But you probably have, because he's inspired a lot of things. So let's just jump right on into it, shall we? Okay, so the doll, Robert, originally belonged to this boy named Robert Eugene Otto. So yes, in fact, he did name his doll after himself. Just like you, Savannah. I mean, you didn't name it Savannah, but, you know,
Yeah,
Kids are very original,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
But
He's like, I mean, that's like the best name ever, so obviously I have to name it that.
well, yeah, that's true. That's true. But actually, so even though his name was Robert, his name is Robert Eugene Otto. He actually went by Gene. So
Oh,
calling
okay.
him Robert, it wasn't really like he was calling it. He named it after himself, but he also kind of didn't, if you know what I'm saying. Um, so yeah, he did go by Gene, but he also sometimes goes by Otto, which is his last name. So for just the purposes of the story, I'm just gonna call him Otto because I don't know what he wanted to go by. He was confusing me.
Okay.
So Robert from here on out will be the doll, and Otto will be the owner of the doll. Just
Right.
for clarification.
Got it.
So, anyways, Otto lived in Key West, Florida, with his family. And this guy actually grew up to be an artist, like who people describe to be like really eccentric, and his like art is like really like super weird but cool. And okay, so the doll was actually a birthday present to Otto from his grandpa. And his grandpa, he took a little trip, a little vacay to Germany in 1904, and he was just walking the streets of Germany doing some little window shopping when he saw this doll in a store window, and it had the outfit like of a little sailor outfit, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, like that's literally Otto's outfit. Like, oh my gosh, that's like a little baby Otto." He was like, "I obviously have to get him this because it's a sign." And first of all, that's very sweet of his grandpa, but also that nobody better ever do that to me. Like, no. Like, imagine, no. Because just think about how creepy. Like, your grandpa brings you back a doll, and it's a doll that looks exactly like you.
No, see, like, when you're little, like, I don't know.
No,
when
it
you
is
actually
sweet.
like dolls.
It really, truly is sweet. But it's just my own personal. That I just hate
like, I think you're biased because you are scared of dolls.
Very much so. Very much so.
And I don't know, I used to play with dolls and dress them up and stuff, and I would actually use outfits that I think that I would wear.
Well, this makes sense. Okay, so yeah, it was just this cute little birthday present, and Otto literally loved it so much, you just don't even understand. But I'll get into that later. First, let me describe to you what this doll looks like. So obviously, there's going to be pictures on our Instagram, so definitely go look at what he looks like, but I'm going to do my best to describe him. So it's a 3-foot tall doll. He is huge, like the literal size of Otto, probably, at the time that he got it, which already is creepy. But it's a doll of a little boy dressed in a sailor suit, and his eyes are little tiny black beads, which is just creepy. And probably like the worst part about him, in my opinion, is that his entire body is covered in small brown like little nicks. And they kind of look like scars, like somebody stabbed him a bunch of times, like all over his body. Like there's a lot on his face, but they're like all over his body. And nobody knows how they got there, these scars.
Okay. After that whole description,
Right.
All right.
It's
I mean, like,
disgusting.
did he look like that brand new, though?
Yes. Like from the,
With scars and stuff?
Yes, from the store window. Scars. Yes. Mm-hmm. And while I tell you this story, because I do have a little bit more, you should look up what he looks like, because I feel like it's very important for you to see what he looks like.
I'll look it up.
So he also has a really, really, really tiny nose, and it's kind of more of like a little nub. You can barely even tell it's a nose. And his mouth is like the weirdest little mouth I've ever seen. It's like kind of smirking a little bit, but kind of just like a straight face. It's really weird. Don't like it at all. And so in Robert's hands, the doll, he is actually holding his own toy, which is a little dog with his tongue sticking out. So, you know.
Okay, yeah, I just looked it up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and the fact that you said he's like 3.5 feet?
Well, he's 3 feet, but yes.
He's like 3 feet?
Yeah.
Like that?
He's big. He's really big.
Yeah.
Like, he's like half the size of us. And
I see a picture with a person next to a person.
Yeah.
Jeez.
No. See, that's no. Like, if it was a smaller doll, maybe I wouldn't be so scared. But, like, this is just genuinely a human person inside this doll, is my vibes. So, let's see here. So ever since like this story has become like, popularized and stuff, people wanted to trace back like where this doll was like made from and like where it came from. So the researchers found that it was made by the Steiff company in Germany, which makes sense because that's where his grandpa got it. And what's interesting is actually the same toy maker that made Robert the doll also made the famous teddy bear in honor of Theodore Roosevelt, like the OG teddy bear.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Right. So like the difference.
They're like iconic.
Like very much so iconic, and then also is going to make this horribly creepy doll, Robert.
I always so I think I've heard that before, that the OG teddy bear was for Teddy, like
Theodore Roosevelt. Yeah.
But I always forget that, and
me
just
too.
Reminded me.
Me too. Oh, when I saw that again, I was like, I mean, I know that's the case, but like, wow, like people really loved him.
Yeah.
Because like, I mean, we still have teddy bears literally to this day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wild. Truly wild. So people actually speculate that Robert the doll was never meant to be sold, and that he was pretty much only used as a window display for like clowns and jesters. Like, and apparently that was like the window sill like theme was like clowns and jesters and like weird little things. So kind of he was just, people think that he was just like kind of like a background artist who could just like was just like thrown around and used wherever he needed to be. So like that might be where his little scars come from, just like being thrown around and like used for whatever.
Okay.
Because like he was never meant to be sold is basically what I'm saying.
Right.
So that also is just bad juju, in my opinion. So anyway, moving right along. As Otto is like growing up, this doll is his bestie. Bessie for the restie. He absolutely loves Robert. People in town would actually go so far to describe like Otto and Robert's relationship as borderline unhealthy.
Oh.
Like just towns, like random townspeople would say this. Like, yeah, their relationship's not good. And the relationship that they're talking about is between a boy and a doll.
That's so weird.
That is so weird.
Wait, why wasn't it good though? I don't understand.
Well, that would be because Otto and his entire family treated this doll as if it was actually alive. Every single one of them, not just Otto. So Robert the doll went every single place that they went. And they talked to him like he was a human, like as if he could respond. Yeah. So that's why the townspeople were like, these people are crazy, pretty much.
Okay. Well,
and
yeah, I would think that too.
And I would probably think that too, but also like, you never know. Like maybe, he just likes the doll. Like maybe he would have like thrown a tantrum or something, like if they weren't like treating the doll. Like I'm sure kids do that. So like maybe it's not so weird, but then it's gonna get weirder, so it still is. So more on like the Otto family, is like probably like the most well-known fact about this family is like how bad their mistreatment was of their servants and maids. So what I actually didn't even realize, the Otto family was like really rich, and they lived in a mansion. And that mansion actually still stands today, by the way, in Key West.
I was not thinking that.
Me neither. I was like, what?
I thought, if anything, they might be poor.
Same, because I'm like, look at this doll that this grandpa is bringing back from Germany. But then I'm like, you have to think, like, the grandpa went on vacation in Germany for, like, fun.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know. Crazy. So, because they lived in a mansion, the size of their house, obviously, very large. So they needed the help to, run the household. And that's what, like, all of the, like, sources that I found said. But to me, what this means, or what I can assume at least, is that these people are slaves to them. Or, like, at least, like, definitely not making the amount of money that they should be making for, like, what they're doing.
Right.
That's what the vibe is giving off. So... yeah, and they were being severely mistreated as well. So, not good. Not good at all.
Yeah.
And so one maid was actually fired because she was caught using voodoo. Okay.
Oh,
Keep this in mind. Apparently, just during the day, And they don't really go into detail of like what she was doing, but like whatever she was doing, they just knew it was like witchcraft, voodoo, bad stuff is what the family said.
Okay.
And right as she was caught, like in the middle of doing whatever, like I'm assuming she was doing some kind of like spell or curse. So she's like in the middle of it. She gets caught, and she went right before they're like taking her away. She hands Robert the doll to Otto and whispers something in his ear. And we don't know what she said to him. He never said. So it is most commonly believed that this maid cursed Robert the doll to bring fear and discomfort to the family, like to kind of repay all the fear and discomfort that they did to them. Which makes sense.
Well, that's really creepy. Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. She probably
like,
did say something.
But also, like, girly pop, you didn't have to give it to the child. Like, I mean, right. It's not the child's fault that his parents are horrible. Like, if he is horrible, like, they raised him to be that way, you know?
Mm-hmm,
like, he was a kid. And she handed him a very cursed doll. So, yeah. So, as I said, moving along from that incident, that didn't change anything between, like, Otto and Robert's relationship. He still loved the doll and still took this doll everywhere with him. And, you know, I just do also want to say, like, it's really not uncommon for, like, kids to, like, you know, find their toy or whatever and, like, won't leave the house without it. But the issue with Robert the doll is that he's literally the same exact size as Otto. And so it's extremely hard to have both of them and, like, have to tote around both of them, because it's basically like you're toting two humans instead, like, two children instead of one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, was he, like, only child?
No, he had siblings.
Oh, okay.
So, like, even more.
He had, like, an extra kid.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, but even though as hard as that was, it never stopped him. And his parents always let him take him everywhere. So, it's crazy. So, you know, that happened for a while. And then eventually, Otto was found whispering to the doll. And I also found that this is apparently normal for children to do as well. But that just kind of adds to the list of why maybe I should not have kids, because if my child was ever whispering to a doll, I would freak out. I would really freak out. But, you know, so whatever. He talks to the doll, you know, cute little whatever relationship, I guess. But what was extremely not normal, and when tables really turned in this story, was when one day Otto was whispering in Robert the doll's ear, and a deep voice was heard answering back to him. Okay, and this was witnessed by his family as well.
No, thank you.
No, thank you. And this is why you can't trust dolls, people. The PSA. Because it seemed all good and innocent at first, and now here we are. We got a deep voice coming out of this creepy looking doll. So it just kind of started out as this deep, low voice, occasionally talking back. He wouldn't talk back in the creepy voice every time. It would just be occasionally. But eventually, this led being like a daily occurrence. And then it kind of built up. And then there would be loud, violent commotions coming from Otto's bedroom on a nightly basis.
Oh, my God.
And so obviously his parents would like hear this commotion going on, and they would run in his room, and they would find all of his furniture overturned. His toes and his clothes are literally ripped apart. And Otto was always found huddled behind his bed, shaking and literally terrified.
What?
Yeah. And so when his parents were like, can you please tell us what happened? All he said every single time was, Robert did it. And at this point, guys, if we do not get this doll up out of this house, like, it would be so long gone if that was my house. I just can't stress it enough.
Also, though, I thought, like, they were friends. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, they were BFFs, and now suddenly there's a change. Well, probably because that maid cursed the doll, is my assumption, and everybody else's assumption. Because this all started happening after that whole shenanigan went down with the voodoo.
Mm-hmm.
So, obviously the parents were like kind of worried, but they also kind of just thought it was Otto trying to get attention from like his other siblings, you know. I mean, like, and that's a fair thought of them to have, because like I mean, I would go straight for like cursed haunted doll, but like most level-headed people would be like, I think my kid's just trying to like get attention, you know, as kids
Yeah,
do.
I was even gonna say, like, is it possible the kid was just he was like faking a deeper voice?
Exactly. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's definitely possible, and that's what the parents thought. So, you know, they didn't seek help because they were like, it's just, you know, him, you know, whatever. And same kind of situation. Like, I had like an imaginary friend when I was little, and I would like blame him on things, and my parents knew. But then and again, I'm like, I personally think that was a ghost, but you know.
Okay. See, you just reminded me of something
Okay, and
that
what?
I might need to revisit sometime.
Okay.
Because my parents, like, I suppose, like, okay. My parents said that I had, like, an imaginary friend
Uh-huh.
that they think was a ghost.
Oh.
But
Okay.
I need to get more information from
Please,
them
let's
before
revisit that.
yeah, we'll revisit.
Okay, because that needs my imaginary friend's name was Alex, and I do believe I can actually, when I think about it, I can like vividly see what Alex looked like in my head.
Oh.
And I don't know if that's just my imagination, but I would in fact blame him on things that I did when I was bad. So specifically, like, I
Nice.
would color on my wall and say that it was Alex. But
Yeah.
you know, I don't know. Anyway, aside from that, so yeah, his parents just thought maybe he was just trying to get attention. But once they themselves started witnessing Robert move on its own, that's when things really started amping up. Obviously. So the parents did in fact see Robert move. Like this doll, no help, moving on its own. And at first, actually, it was the servants and maids who were like stayed, who saw the doll move. They saw the doll move before the parents saw it. And
Oh.
the day that they saw the doll move, every single one of them quit that same day and never came back. So
Oh my God.
I think that says a lot. They said we are not coming
Yeah.
back here.
Yeah.
So you know, that's really bad. And once all the staff quit, that's when the family were like, okay, 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 something's got to be done. Something's got to be done. So Otto's aunt came over to visit, I guess to try to like help. They were like, what are we going to do with this doll situation? So his aunt banished Robert the doll to live in the attic, like locked up there, like can't get out, you know. Basically, like can't see
Okay.
him, you know, not a problem, it's fine. So
Okay.
even though Robert the doll was locked up in the attic, the family claimed to hear him moving around every single night. Like every single night, they were like, it sounds like there's a person up there. And the first couple nights they went up, nobody was up there. Keeps going on. Eventually, they're like, okay, it's Robert. You know, like who else could it be?
Okay, why didn't they just get rid of this doll?
I don't know. Don't know. I don't have that answer for you.
Like, donate it. Do something to it.
I personally, in the whole story, I don't have an answer for you. And my personal opinion is I think that they kind of liked the doll. Like, even though it was scary, like, I feel like it kind of, maybe, like, the curse, like, had, like, where they couldn't really get rid of it. Like, it made them not want to get rid of it. Because, like, really, truly, why do they keep this doll? I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense that it's part of the curse.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that's true, but that's just kind of what I think. So, okay. Now, this is really crazy because it said that the night that Otto's aunt banished Robert to the attic, she actually, like, went home that night right after and died of not mysterious, unknown causes.
Okay, well, that's scary.
Yes, and we'll later find out that Robert the doll might have actually caused many, many deaths. So, yeah. So, another creepy thing that while Otto is just, you know, living his best life in the attic, running around up there at night. The family also claims to hear him giggling up there at night.
No, not giggling.
Absolutely not. And so as all this is going on, like, first of all, they're not getting like any sleep at night because they're just hearing this little doll having the time of his life up there. And then all of a sudden, like, this family starts experiencing extreme hardships. Like, they lose jobs, they lose money. It's like people start dying in their family. Like, bad luck on top of bad luck that seemed to come from nowhere. Like, people would, like, family members would, like, die in these crazy accidents, like, that should have never happened. And they're like, what's going on? And, of course, that could just be, like, coincidence. But also it could not be coincidence. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
It's just weird that, like, the curse would spread that much.
I know. But, I mean, who knows? But the family blamed all of it, every single bit of it, on the doll. And that he just, like, cursed the whole family. Like, the doll himself cursed the whole family. And so, yeah, after that, Robert the doll was put to blame for every single bad thing that ever happened. Like, ever again. But despite all of this, Otto kept Robert the doll. Even when he grew up and became an adult. Still had the doll.
See, that's just...
No, I know.
Why would you do that?
I mean... It's hard because while I didn't have a doll, I did have, like, my childhood blankie, and I still have it. I don't sleep with it every night, but, like, I do still have it. And, like, I would never get rid of it. So, like, if that's how he feels to the doll, like, I understand.
I mean, my dolls and stuff, they're all, like, in a box somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, my blanket's in a box too, but he didn't, yeah. I don't know. I also think that this, like, doll just had, like, a power over these people.
Yeah.
That's just, like,
it definitely
unexplainable.
seems like it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, going through time, you know, Robert is growing up a little bit. So obviously after he grew up, he needed to move out. And as I mentioned before, he's an artist. So he actually, like, went and studied art for a couple years in New York and Paris. So even though he's, like, traveling the world, his parents were like, yeah, it's cool. Like, Robert the doll can stay at our house in Key West, Florida. But he just stayed, like, locked up in the attic, and the footsteps and the giggling just continued. But at that point, you know, I guess they were used to it. They were like, whatever, it's just Robert. Like, I don't know.
It's just Robert. That's all he's gonna do. He's not gonna do anything else, right?
Exactly. Well, not right. So fast forwarding a bit to May 3rd, 1930, Otto marries a woman named Annette Parker, she went by Anne. So Anne for the rest of the story. So once they got married, they decided, you know, let's settle down and let's move back to Key West, Florida, to be near, you know, Otto's family. And at that point, his parents had died, and their house now belonged to him. So they moved in to his childhood home, where who lives there? Robert the doll lives there.
Robert, yeah.
Yes. And fun fact is, Anne hated Robert the doll from the very first time she ever heard even the very first story of him. And I mean, how can you blame her?
Yeah, I would too.
Anne is me. I'd be like, no. So the fact that she even moved into the house knowing all, like, being told all those stories, like, is beyond me, and I would never ever do that.
Right, like, I figured that she found out about it once she moved in.
No,
he
was upfront about it, told her all over the years, like, as they were traveling, would be like, yep, Robert did this. But she was like, whatever, no, absolutely not.
She probably, like, maybe she didn't believe it.
Truly. Well, we'll see if she believes it in the end. So when the couple moved back into his childhood home, Otto decided to move Robert the doll from the attic after years and years and years of being locked up there, and decided to prop him up in a window so he could look outside. And I'm like, sir, why? I just need to know why. I just would love to know why. So yeah, he's just, like, in, like, the second story of the house, looking out the window, chilling in this chair. And school children, and really anybody else who was walking past the house, would say that they often saw the doll disappear from their sight and then come right back, just like as if he was moving around.
That's scary.
That's horrifying. And because of this, most of the kids who like walk that way to school actually changed their routes to go to school another way because they did not. That's how bad. Like they were like, we don't even want to be close to that energy.
It's their security system. They're like, we don't want to be near that. So.
That is so funny. That is so funny. Wow. That's a good one. Well, it worked because nobody wanted to walk around their house at all. Truly. But actually, Robert did not last very long in that window because Anne quickly, like after probably like 2 weeks of him being in the window, Anne banished him back into the attic because she just thought he was the creepiest thing ever. She was like, I don't even understand why you like this doll. He's ugly, creepy, and I think he moves around.
Oh my gosh.
And so
I can hear her saying that.
Right,
too.
Right, exactly. And I mean, like, again, as she should. I would be the same way. And I feel you, girlie. I do. So Otto agreed, and they locked him back up there. And the literal same night he was locked back up there, again, are the noises of him, walking around and things moving upstairs and giggling every night. So obviously, it's a little contention in the relationship. Like Anne doesn't want the doll out, but Robert doesn't want to be locked up. And so kind of it's a lose-lose for Anne either way because like if she's getting what she wants, he's not allowing her to sleep through the night because he's being so loud in the attic. But like if he's out, he's like scaring her literally to death. You know what I'm saying? Like I just can't imagine having to deal with that.
It would scare me either way. Like I don't
exactly. I'm like, can we just not get rid of him? Like, can we please?
Right. Like I'd be like, we're getting rid of this or we're getting a divorce.
Right. That's 100%. Like 100% if that was me. So now this, I mean, as if the story isn't already crazy. Robert the doll actually started talking to Otto again. Allegedly. Okay. Because actually what Anne didn't really know is that Otto was like sneaking trips up to the attic to like hang out with Robert.
Okay, what a weirdo. What are you doing?
Straight up weirdo. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm so sorry.
Like, you're gonna go sneak and talk to your little doll?
Yeah, he sure did. And so when he did that, the doll, pretty much was demanding him to be put in the turret room of the house. And the fact that he even knew the name of the room is just really disgusting.
Wait, what is a turret room?
It's like a turret is like, I don't even know how to describe it, but basically it's like a corner room. But he just wanted the turret room because it had like the best view of the street.
Oh.
So like he wanted that room just so he could just look out and scare the school children. I don't know, be like the guardian of the house. Like truly, I don't know what he wanted. Okay. But that's what he wanted. He wanted the view of the street. So, and the fact that literally Robert the doll, emphasis on the doll portion of that, is just making demands at this person is just crazy. So let's see here. Oh, and I think the worst part of this is like, say we are believing this, like that this doll is talking. You saw what he looks like. It would be one thing if the doll looked like a human, but this doll very clearly looks like a doll. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Go look at the pictures of Robert the doll if you need to see. Like, he doesn't look like human-like. Like, if it was a human-like doll, I feel like I would be less scared of it talking. But the fact that he is, like, so cartoony and, like, so obviously fake-looking, the fact that he's talking is, like, really messing me up.
Yeah, and, like, his mouth is like, barely a mouth.
It's barely a mouth. But we'll get into that. We'll get into that as well. So, Robert, demanding to be in the turret room. Otto did what the doll told him to. And he moved Robert into the turret room facing the window that he wanted to face. And at this point in time, like, I don't really know what year it is, around the late 1960s, early 1970s, Otto ended up spending every single day in the turret room with Robert the doll. And obviously he was getting old. Like, he obviously was retired and stuff. But, like, he started spending every day in there. And he spent all day, every day, for, like, 4 years, up until his death in 1974, talking to Robert the doll.
That's creepy.
And I'm pretty sure he even died in that room. And that's not confirmed, but he definitely died in the house. So, yeah. Great. So immediately after Otto's death, Anne was like, all right, boy, we are done. She got this like nice, like thick cedar box with a huge lock on it, put Robert the doll in the cedar box, put him in the attic, locked the attic, and she was like, we're done. We're done. Like, he can't get out of the box, and then he can't get out of the attic. And I think that she kept him, honestly, just because of how much he meant to her husband, and like, you know, like maybe she was going to throw him away in some time, but, you know, obviously she just lost her husband. Like,
yeah.
I get
don't
it.
know,
like,
though. I would be like, he's gone.
He's
so
gone.
You're
I know.
gone.
I'm personally, same.
Or honestly, bury him with him.
Facts. That would have been really smart, and that might have ended things.
Yeah, that would. He's not gonna dig himself out. Like, how's
Well,
he gonna...
maybe he would, but like, I don't know. I lost my spot. Okay. Yes. So, as you presume, you know, Anne puts him back up there. And she's like, okay, problem solved. Like, he is not going to bother me anymore because I locked him in that box. Like, he can't do anything. Tragically, wrong. The activity started again immediately. And Anne, at that point, was simply over it. So, props to her for holding out, you know, for that long. Truly. But, literally, like, a couple weeks later, she sold the house and the property to a woman named Myrtle Reuter. And so what's cool is that she was actually like one of Otto's like appointed caretakers. So like she knew the house already, knew everything, knew even Robert, you know, knew it all. And so she was the one who got everything. And Anne was like, peace, girly, I'm done with the doll. So Myrtle.
That's so, okay.
Oh, go ahead.
But seriously, like, I don't know if I would take the house knowing all that. Like, did she get a discount?
I mean, she wanted the house.
Yeah, I mean,
like Myrtle she wanted it.
She wants to live with Robert.
She wanted to live with Robert. Well, did she? I don't know. I think the house meant a lot to her because she had kind of spent like a lot of time there too.
Yeah, I guess
so. And also, it's a mansion, so like, I'm personally not turning down a mansion. Like,
yeah,
it's not like a little shack, you know. It's a really big house.
Mm-hmm.
So. Yeah, anyways, Myrtle corroborated that she herself had witnessed every single thing that the family had experienced. And that she herself had saw the doll appear and disappear at will, and that on multiple occasions, her and her other coworkers saw Robert the doll's face change and move. Okay. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but they don't mean like a lot, okay? So they started paying attention to more and more, and every single time that they would like it would move a little bit, they realized that he was just kind of changing his smirk, like his mouth, from like his little smirk that he has more into a frown. So like barely a move, but like kind of a noticeable difference is what they said. And they noticed that he would change his facial impressions only when people would speak negatively about him.
Huh. Okay.
So, keep that in mind. Let's see here. So, in 1994, which was 20 years after Otto died, Myrtle donated Robert the doll to the Fort East Martello Museum in Key West, Florida, where he still resides today. So, she lived with him for 20 years. And then, I guess, finally said, okay, I'm done. So the fact that that was 20 years, maybe not 20 years, maybe Anne stayed in there. I don't know how long necessarily Anne stayed in the house before she, transferred it over to Myrtle. But regardless, still too long to be staying with this doll, who I just know is torturing, like making their lives miserable, honestly.
Right. And okay, so what year did you say that they got the doll in the first place? Like,
oh, let me scroll back up
It's
here.
been so long.
Oh, it has been so long. 1904. Yeah. So
this doll is over 100 years old.
Yes.
Oh my god.
And also they never could find out like the year when he was made.
Right.
So he
But
could be,
still, like-
yeah, he's definitely well over 100 now.
Oh my
So,
god.
yeah, not good. Not good at all. Let's see here. So, okay, so yeah, so Robert today is in the Fort East Martello Museum in Key West, Florida. And he is locked like in a box in this museum. They don't let him out because they say he runs around when they did let him out. And he would be like sitting in a different place every time that they would come back in there. So he's in a lockbox permanently now. And so even though Robert the doll is officially out of the house, Myrtle kind of thought that like him getting out of the house would like maybe stop, like maybe it was like a house attachment, you know? I don't know. You know how people think that.
Yeah.
She was like, maybe like once he's out of the house, he'll just be like a regular doll again. But no, unfortunately she was wrong. His antics were most definitely not over. So he's extremely well known all around the world, and thousands upon thousands of people come every single year to this museum to see him. And at this museum, as of very recently, they have started selling a Robert the Doll replica.
Okay.
And I'm just like, guys, why? I need to know why you would do that. Why?
With all the same like little scars.
Everything is the same. It's a complete replica. And I'm just like, oh, y'all are so crazy.
Okay. Are they at least smaller?
No, they're literally the exact same.
Creepy.
Creepy. And they do have small ones too, but they have the big ones too. So just absolutely disgusting. Let's see here. Oh, Robert the Doll also has his own social media accounts. So I mean,
oh my god,
maybe
do you
go
think
follow.
He runs it?
Go. No, actually, I didn't write her name down, but one of like the Otto family's friends actually works at that museum and runs the account herself, and she will respond back to you as Robert the Doll. So
what if he goes on there though? He's like, he gets out of his little box at night and goes on Twitter.
He's like, I'm just gonna go scroll my Instagram, post a selfie.
Yeah,
that's funny. Like, what if like that's just a cover story? Like, she doesn't actually run his account. Like, it's really just Robert.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
Do you think? Okay. Also, do you think he would act like 100-year-old man, or more like, you know, the age of whatever he's supposed to be, like a child?
I kind of think he would act. I don't think he would act like an old man. I just think that he would act. See, like I kind of picture him like as like no age, but like very intelligent. If that makes sense. Okay. Like I kind of don't see him as human at all.
Yeah.
I'm picturing like, if anything, I'm picturing like infinity years old, but like still like young-minded, if that makes sense. Okay. But so, I mean, like, who knows?
Okay.
Truly. I surely do not know. What do you think? You think he's going to be like an old man?
I don't know. I feel like he would act like a kid. Like he probably acts like a kid from back in the time that he was made.
Well, okay, yeah. Well, that's a good point too. That's definitely good. So you're telling me he's not scrolling on Instagram then?
Maybe not. Maybe he doesn't know what that is.
Yeah, he's never heard of her.
Yeah.
Okay, so since the museum started selling the new replicas of him, there has been an extreme increased bad luck to the visitors of this museum. And this is all now being blamed on Robert the Doll as well. So staff at the museum claim that Robert has recently been found in different positions inside of his case that they keep him locked in. So not like the case is barely keeping him in. Like they better reinforce that case, honestly, because I feel like he's trying to escape prison break.
Yeah.
Staff has also said they heard footsteps around the museum at night with like no explanation and nobody's there. And they've also reported to see his facial expressions change from quote unquote neutral to nasty in the blink of an eye.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, what does that mean? Nasty? I don't like that. I just do not at all. So when you go to the museum, visitors are given advice on how to approach Robert. So they are to speak to him in a polite way, ask his permission to photograph him, and treat him with respect. That's like the 3 main rules. There.
Okay, but also, like, if you're asking permission, he's not just gonna answer you. So, like, how do you know?
Well, that's exactly the point. So my next literal bullet point is that Robert the Doll hates photos of himself. And I think people asking permission is just trying to be respectful, but he does not like, you are not supposed to take pictures of him. And he especially does not like flash. So, yeah. We'll get into it.
I just imagine, like, trying to take a picture and accidentally having the flash on.
That would probably 100% be me.
Oh my God. You would probably be, like, so terrified.
100%. Literally 100%. And I feel like, no, you guys, please do not ever go take a picture of Robert the Doll. I will explain to you why you should not do that. But, like, please, like, I really feel like people might think this is a joke, but I really believe this one. And it really scares me.
Yeah, like, I kind of believe, I don't know. It takes a lot for me to believe in stuff like this, but it's just, like, I would not take a picture of it.
No.
Just in case.
Because I would not want to risk it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, like, because obviously I have questions. Like, it definitely is possible that it's not real, but I don't want to risk I don't want to curse myself.
Exactly. Yeah.
If it is real.
Yeah.
So, but obviously the fact that, like, he doesn't want pictures of himself, like, people like us, honestly, think this is not real. Let's go take pictures of him anyway. So the walls, every single 4 walls surrounding Robert the Doll are completely filled with letters from visitors apologizing for their behavior.
Oh my God, what?
Yeah, so these people who have taken pictures of Robert or were disrespectful to him, they are sending letters back to apologize because most of them are like visitors and tourists, they don't live close. So they have to send letters to the museum. And they are apologizing to Robert and saying that they have experienced like extreme bad luck or even like death or like huge car accidents, like pretty much right after taking a picture of Robert. And so they're literally writing these letters pleading, asking Robert for forgiveness to like not have any more bad luck.
That's scary.
Yeah, and currently there are over 1,000 letters in total. So that's like really a lot. That's like crazy. And along with the letters, some people also send in offerings, like whether it be money, toys, candy, etc. Like they're just like, we're trying to bribe you, Robert the Doll. Like crazy. Absolutely crazy. So the most crazy part about this story, in my opinion, is that Chucky was completely inspired by Robert the Doll. Like the Chucky movies, the Chucky doll, that whole franchise is inspired on Robert the Doll.
I mean, it makes sense.
Makes complete sense. Yeah. It's crazy, but yeah. And I really did not know that because I have known the story of Robert the Doll, but I did not know that he was the inspiration for Chucky, which
they just made it look way different.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and they always do that. Like we were talking about, Annabelle is actually a Raggedy Ann doll, but like
True.
From the movie, she's like a porcelain, cute little doll. Yeah. So, that's crazy. And okay, so my last little thing is that all day, every day, 365 days, 24/7, Robert the Doll stays locked up in his little cage, except for every year, one day out of the year, he has a little annual checkup, a little doctor appointment, where workers will take him out of the case and weigh him to assess how, like, the humidity in Florida, like, and just, like, the Florida weather in general is affecting his straw-filled body, because he's made of straw, apparently. And because it's so humid in Florida, like, apparently it's kind of, like, deteriorating at him a little bit. So they're just...
Even being inside?
Yeah. Inside and in a box? Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, he's just also just very old. He's very old.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's the only time he's ever taken out of the box, and only, like, a very select few people are allowed to be a part of that process. And that would never be me. I would never touch. You could not pay me to touch that doll, and I'm serious about that. Yeah. Well, I don't know, actually, maybe. Let's see here. So, yeah, but I'll just end on, I kind of just think the one thing I learned, like doing, because I have heard this story many times in the past, but I kind of always thought that Robert the doll was like a haunted doll of a ghost. But no, he is more of a cursed object. Like, there's not really like a spirit. I mean, maybe there is a spirit, but like he's more cursed. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe a little bit of both, but like, I don't know. That's just crazy to me.
Yeah, it definitely seems more of like a cursed object.
Yeah, truly. But that is the legend of Robert the doll.
Insane. See, stuff like that is like, okay, well, I guess I get why you can be afraid of dolls.
Okay, thank you.
But like normally, I don't know, like dolls just don't usually creep me out.
I just feel like I have a problem with like every single doll's eyes because, and that's just kind of like, I don't know, it's called some kind of an effect, like where you think like pictures and dolls or whatever are always looking at you, like from that angle, and I just really don't like that. And also at this day and age, like people put cameras in dolls, so there's also that to worry about today.
Well, okay.
Like, listen, I am anti-doll, fully. Genuinely. But yeah. Ooh, let me tell you what though. I was so spooked out like reading and doing all the research for that because like I just can't. I can't. And my roommate Christian, she's obsessed with like horror movies, and of course, Chucky would be like her favorite movie. And I told her I was reading the story and that he was the inspiration for Chucky, and she was like, "Okay, Taylor, well, I don't want to tell you this now, but I'm ordering a Chucky doll." And I'm like, girl, he's gonna have to stay in your room.
Oh my god, no, she's not.
Like, I can't handle that. Like, I can't handle that. So if she does end up, I hope she's not. I hope she's just saying that. But if she does, I'll definitely post a picture.
Oh my god, that is so crazy. That, I don't know about having a Chucky doll in your house. Like, that just seems like too much.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I just cannot have that. Cannot. So I guess I'll update you guys on that too. But yes, definitely go check out our Instagram for pictures this week. You got to see Robert. I'm trying to see, like, I don't know. I guess they don't have a picture of the phantom. Wait, what's it called?
The corpse light.
The corpse light. The corpse light.
Yeah, but I'll post pictures just of the park. I mean,
yeah,
it's pretty.
True. Yeah, I want to see the park for sure.
And like the.
Wait, I wonder if they have like, do they have a picture of like the boat that went missing?
Oh yeah, I can try to find that.
Because that's what I want to see.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, definitely go check out our Instagram. And if you're listening on Spotify, we will post like a poll or a fun questionnaire. So if you're listening on Spotify, go do that. And if you don't listen on Spotify, sorry, your apps don't have anything fun to do.
Yeah.
Only Spotify.
Oh, also, I texted my mom and asked her if she knew about the corpse light, and she said no. So.
Oh, okay. Well, time to inform her. Send her this podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy though. That's really crazy that none of y'all just knew. I mean, y'all could have seen it and never knew.
Yeah, that's true.
Truly. That's wild. Absolutely wild. But go rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, please. But yeah, that's really all I have for you guys this week. What about you?
That's all I have.
Okay, well, I guess we will see you guys next week.
All right, cue the music.